independent origins, which is evolution happening in parallel directions, or something like evolution by self-organization, as proposed by Stuart Kaufman. All of these are different evolutionary models proposed by atheist evolutionary biologists. No school teaches them, no university teaches them.
Yeah.
And you actually find out things like, just a few weeks ago, there's a book published by Oxford University called Darwinism as Religion. And it's written by an atheist philosopher of science. And what he goes on to say is that Darwin's theory of evolution, it became into a religion. Until today, it is actually a type of meta-narrative. It's a type of religion. Because of this, what we are taught in school is actually incorrect. It's not the only game in town. And there's lots of assumptions and problems.
I agree with your point that they do enforce it and say this is the only thing. I mean, actually no, they don't. To be fair, we were always taught to say it's a theory.
But that's what. But remember, science. The highest standard you can achieve in science is theory.
Yeah.
That's the highest standard.
No, but that's what we weren't taught. This is the only thing.
That's if you go to any school.
Oh yeah, I was taught.
So was I.
I'm sorry. I was modern. I mean, I have a pretty modern experience of education today, and I would say when I was taught this, I came from, it was a very diverse school, so a lot of different beliefs and stuff. So they kind of highlighted it's a theory, it can be contradicted, you shouldn't take it as gospel. So, and obviously everyone had different beliefs, but I chose to believe the evidence that was presented to me. And, I'm not a biologist, so all these different types of things, I could probably go home and look it up, but I probably wouldn't understand half of it because I'm not a biologist.
But the question is, why do you believe something when you don't understand it?
Okay,
is it a sociological thing?
I know it's more of a
trust.
I can put everything out and say I don't fully understand biology. Okay? I can also say I fully don't understand that. I don't fully understand anything. Neither do you. Neither does anyone. But I can say with pretty good confidence that with the knowledge I do have, I have reasonable belief I have a reason to believe what's presented to me because of what I understand, and I think that's pretty reasonable. And there may be different theories.
What if I was to make a claim? If I was to make a claim that Darwinian evolution, it may be modified in the next 100 years, beyond recognition, or completely discarded. What would you say of that claim?
Maybe it will.
And do you know who makes this claim? Richard Dawkins in his book, A Devil's Chaplain. Yeah. This is one of his lesser-known works. Now, what that goes to show is that the way that science works is you can get new data which challenges your previous conclusions. Yeah. Secondly, the same data can give rise to multiple competing hypotheses, multiple competing theories. Now, if in school we are taught this, then that'll be fine. But when I was in school and I studied what was quite a posh school in North Oxford, a high school there called Cherwell College, we were not taught this is an idea and this has competing hypotheses. We were told this is it. This is it. And one of the things which is used about the theory is that it is used to say that everything around us which looks apparently designed is an illusion. It's a blind watchmaker. And where I disagree, and I don't know if you're going to agree with me here, is when you have a scientific theory, and this scientific theory has left the realm of science and has gone onto metaphysics and tries to challenge the idea of God by saying things look apparently designed, but they're actually adaptations due to random mutations and natural selection has created them that way. I think that's a dangerous category mistake.
So to sum up, you're kind of saying that, there's a lot of interest taken. They're saying that we're taught that everything, this one theory to contradict all the other religious theories.
No, I'm saying don't bring religion into it.
Okay.
I'm saying, say general relativity.
Yeah.
General relativity is a fantastic theory. So is quantum mechanics. Yet both of these theories contradict each other at a fundamental level. They both can't be true. Now, what scientists are trying
No. There's no. We don't have quantum mechanics. I don't fully understand quantum mechanics or general relativity because they're insanely hard. But what I do know is that what you said there was kind of false. They're not contradict. They are a bit funny together, but
they can't be absolutely true.
No, there can be a instance where they're both true, but they're trying to link. Okay? So you can't say they're both contradictory, both two polar opposites, and they can't work
at the moment
because they might be able to work together. At the moment, they're trying to look for.
As it stands right now in physics, the basic assumptions of both of them, there's a contradiction between them.
But that doesn't mean they can't be true.
No, but they both can't be absolutely true. So what scientists are trying
to alter both of them to work together. Yeah.
Well, at the moment they realize both of them are non-complementary paradigms. You can't make them work. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to come up with a theory of quantum gravity.
Yes.
Right? Now, when it comes to evolutionary biology, I would have loved it if I was taught in school. Do you know what? There's this idea of Darwinian evolution, but do you know what? There's also the idea of Lamarckian evolution, mutationism, natural genetic engineering. But we're just told this is it.
Yeah, Lamarckian evolution, I think there was a little bit, but not much.
Do you know what it's normally taught as?
It's kind of taught as the other theory that was wrong. Yeah.
Yes, and the interesting thing about Lamarckian evolution was Lamarck published his work about 50 years before Darwin.
Yeah.
The difference between Lamarck and Darwin, Lamarck was someone who believed in God but not religion, he was a deist. So he didn't see design as an illusion, which is the main conflict between God and Darwinian evolution, that the claim that design is an illusion, right? Now, Lamarck's theory has been brought back to life in the last couple of years because of epigenetics, right? And because of we've seen that, you know, that famous drawing of the giraffe.
Yeah.
It keeps trying to stretch out its neck, and then those changes are passed on to its offspring.
Oh, so
that's Lamarckian. It's an intentional thing, right? Yeah. We've actually got some recent experiments which have shown Lamarckian evolution is observable, right? And now how many generations that goes down, that's another question. That's something they're going to be exploring. But what I didn't like...
Just to confirm, Lamarckian evolution is the one where it's like it wants to extend it. So yeah.
It's a conscious... It's basically like the blacksmith's strong arms.
Yeah.
The blacksmith, he has these arms, then he procreates, and those children inherit those traits. Okay. Now, the inheritance of acquired characteristics, as it's known, was an idea which was ridiculed. Now, why? This is where I disagree, because I believe that if Darwinian evolution was taught, not as a religion, not as a meta-narrative, but was taught the way that Darwin actually proposed it, which was a theory which had anomalies, which he admitted to. He admitted there was other theories possible on the data. And lastly, he also admitted something which we're not taught, which is you can be someone who believes in God and believes in Darwinian evolution, and there's absolutely no contradiction between the two. Neo-Darwinism, which came around in the 1940s, was militantly atheist, right, which was put together by mathematicians, by the way. And this was used as a baton to bash religious people for the last 70 years. And that's the real crux of the issue. And as a mathematician, maybe you should do something to change that.
Maybe. I mean, my perspective,
you've heard of JBS Holding, right? JBS Holding? He's one of the founders of Neo-Darwinism. He's a mathematician.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, there's all these different theories. They are taught by the kind of theories that was wrong. But I think you kind of have a want. So you kind of have a want to reintroduce these theories.
Not
more
myself.
Of a true.
No, I don't want to do that, because these theories, especially things like evolution by natural genetic engineering and evolution by self-organization, these are new, and these have been introduced by atheist evolutionary biologists.
Maybe when they're tested, they'll be taught.
Well, they are actually tested.
Or maybe when they've been tested over, Darwinian evolution is an old theory. And it has stood the test of time, and it's like there's not many.
One of the reasons it stood the test of time is because of the philosophical naturalism that is used to underpin it. Because it's used as a way. Because look, if there is no God, this is from a neo-Darwinian perspective. If there is no God, then nature has to do the creating, and design has to be an illusion. If that's the basis, then no matter how many holes are in the theory, which there are a lot of holes at the moment, this theory will still stand because it's the only naturalistic explanation out there at the moment. Which is why it will survive for the next 1,000 years.
From my perspective, I would say as long as the theory is underpinned, because I would say that design is religion and everything has to is naturally and all the natural selection and everything. As long as it's based on that.
Why would you say design is an illusion?
Because I don't think that it's possible. I don't think that there was a God who just went poof and everything was there.
Well, look, let me give you an example. Right? The idea of instant creation. In the Quran, just to give you the Islamic perspective, because I'm not sure if you come from a Christian background.
I don't.
In the Quran, God says, when I intend to create something, I say be and it is. And in the Quran, God created Jesus by saying be and it is. But Jesus was created over a period of 9 months. So we don't necessarily believe in instant creation. There may be a naturalistic mechanism that is discoverable in some way or shape or form, in some limited capacity. But the basic idea that design is an illusion is only possible if someone subscribes to the idea that Darwinian evolution is absolutely true. And I think there is no reason to believe it is absolutely true. But I think there's lots of reasons to believe it's speculative, it has assumptions which are being challenged, and it has lots of alternatives.
Maybe that's true.
And what you don't want to do, Luke, right? Yeah. What you don't want to do is, you have a short life, I have a short life. If we are brought up with this idea, if we're socially engineered with this idea that everything that looks designed is actually an illusion, I think that's a type of child abuse if you're brought up with a belief which is patently false.
I think you could say that about...
You can.
You could say that about the indoctrination of everyone who is brought up with a religion.
If the religion's false, yeah, you can.
Yeah, but if the religion is false.
But this we know is false, because this is something... No, we know it's false, that it's absolutely true. We know it's a model.
Okay, no. I would say... No, we don't know that it's absolutely false.
Because nothing in science can be absolutely true.
No, that's untrue. That's
so what's something in science, and I'm not talking about observation, I'm talking about theory.
What theory is absolutely true?
There can be no theory that's absolutely true.
But yes, but so you're using the fact that nothing can be absolutely 100% proven to try and prove your own clouded religious belief.
No, I'm not. What I'm trying to do is this.
You can say that, no, I can't say that there is a theory out there that is 100% true, because
that's not the way science works.
But I'm saying that there's a point that you get to where you say, okay, we have enough evidence, can we just move on now?
You don't do that in science.
No.
And I'll tell you why you don't do that in science. Science is based on induction, is to take observations and come up with general ideas about those inductions. Yeah. Now Darwin, and we could take neo-Darwinism today, we've got all these subfields in biology and they all have data. Using that data, we have this theory of Darwinian evolution and there's other alternatives. We can always get the possibility of new data which will challenge the previous conclusion, or a reinterpretation of the existing data, which is why people like Thomas Kuhn, who's a philosopher of science and a physicist, he wrote a book called The Structure of Scientific Revolutions, and he said, you have these paradigms in science, which, because they've been reconfirmed so many times, they become into a type of religious structure. Now, it's very hard to look outside of the paradigm, but what starts happening is, as you have anomalies which keep gradually increasing, you have to have a change in worldview. Now, the anomalies to Darwinian evolution were first pointed out by Darwin himself. Today, those anomalies have only increased. You know Darwin, what he said about the appendix?
Yeah.
Right? He said it was a rudimentary vestigial organ. And that was true for almost 150 years, and we've discovered in the last couple of years, it's no longer considered a vestigial organ. It actually has function. So, no, it has function. Darwin thought it had function.
When
just a few years ago, about 2009, 2010, we discovered it does actually have function. Its function is to flush the body with good bacteria after cases of cholera, right? So after extreme cases in which all of your good bacteria gets out of your body, it is a safe house for bacteria to hide in, and then they can get flushed into your body. Secondly, it works in the development of young adults. Right? We know of at least 2 different functions. The problem with Darwinists is when they take a scientific conclusion and then they say, that's it, we've worked it out. And I'll give you an example of where I disagree. You might have heard of the idea of junk DNA. Okay, but if you study evolutionary biology from a Darwinian perspective, they also talk about this idea of junk DNA. Junk DNA, that 98% of our genome, we didn't know what it was doing. So it's considered junk. It was considered a living fossil, if you like. A record of our ancestry with apes and fish and whatnot. And because we didn't know a function, some people in evolutionary biology were very vocal. There's no point of looking for a function because we know that this is an evolutionary byproduct. People like Francis Crick, the one who discovered the structure of DNA. Now, he was an atheist and evolutionary biologist. He said, don't even bother looking for a function because there's not going to be a function because it's an evolutionary byproduct. In 2012, we had the Encyclopedia of DNA Elements, which published studies. We showed most of what we thought was junk is actually functional. Okay. And you see, what a Darwinian assumption about the certainty of the theory held back science for many years when it comes to discovering that those areas that we thought were junk DNA, it will actually help us to help people with things like diabetes, type 2 diabetes. So what I like to do is I like to just say, if somebody wants to believe in Darwinian evolution as a valid model theory paradigm, I would say absolutely no problem. But if someone was to say it's true, I would say, wait. Science doesn't lead to truth. Science leads to workable models. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, I would say that Darwinian evolution is a workable model.
Yeah, so would I. So is
well, then we have nothing to argue about.
But the difference is, I would also say Lamarckian evolution is a...
I would say it's a less one.
Well, why would you?
Because there's less evidence for it.
No, but how do you know there's less evidence for it? Because there's no... Look, let me just
there's less evidence than we have.
Okay, let me just put it this way. I'm going to give you 5 different subfields, and then I'm going to say to you a statement, and you can challenge it or you can leave it. Here's some different subfields. Biochemistry, anatomy, genetics, linguistics, and psychology. Okay. I could use these 5 fields, and paleontology and sociology, right? 7 fields. I could use those 7 fields and say Lamarckian evolution is just as empirically equivalent as Darwinism. I could do that. Because, for example, to take linguistics, Richard Dawkins says language evolved to help us deceive each other, right? Survival of the fittest. Classical Darwinian idea. But I could use that same idea of linguistics and I could say we acquired language with a sort of intent, which is what Lamarckian evolution is about. So I'm not saying Darwinian evolution is invalid scientifically. I'm saying it's valid, but so is all the rest. And it's not absolutely true.
Okay, maybe, yeah, fair enough. Maybe not. I agree with your speculating with it. It's always good to speculate. I just choose to believe what the kind of general rule is.
So did I. So did I. Until I looked into it, and I was like, hang on a minute, this is very different to what I thought it was.
Yeah. Okay.
And how old are you now?
18.
18. I'm 32, so you've got another 14 years.
Yeah, I'll see you then, and then I'll...
No problem at all.
I've got a little bit more education under my belt.
The main thing is, in life, the way I think about it is this. Someone can have a PhD, someone can be a professor, but no one has the monopoly on thinking.
Yeah.
We all have brains.
Sure.
And ideas that we may believe to be true, and we may be certain that they're true, they may be falsified in the future, and we need to be brave enough to...
Well, maybe yes. But I would choose to... I kind of have a trust in science that I can... in things that I'm not an expert in, I would say...
We all do.
Yeah.
We all do.
I wouldn't... It's why